We have never been more connected, yet it is incredibly easy to feel entirely alone. You scroll through endless feeds, surrounded by a chaotic landscape of data, feeling isolated, until you step outside, look at a quiet forest or a night sky, and suddenly feel a strange, innate sense of belonging. In the 11th century, a Persian philosopher named Naser Khosrow wrote a book called The Banquet of the Brethren. He developed a framework that challenges the modern sense of isolation, arguing that our sense of belonging isn't an illusion, but a reflection of how the universe is actually built. Khosrow belonged to the Ismaili tradition, which argues that the physical world you can touch and see is not random. It is a direct, physical translation of a hidden, higher spiritual reality. To Khosrow, reality is a highly ordered, infinite mirror. When you look up at the stars, you aren't staring into emptiness. You are looking at the exact same architecture that exists inside your own mind. Curious, instructive. This diagram shows the core of Khosrow's universe. At the very top sits the universal intellect, which acts like a cosmic pen or a vast sky projecting energy downwards. Beneath it sits the universal soul, acting like a receptive tablet, or the earth, ready to be written upon. When this cosmic sky and earth interact, they generate the physical world in 3 distinct stages: the mineral, the plant, and the animal kingdoms. This structural pattern repeats everywhere. Khosrow explains that human society and religious frameworks require the exact same foundational guides: prophets to act as the active intellect, and imams to receive and structure that knowledge. He maps this exact math inward to your own psychology. Your mind operates on 3 mirrored levels: the vegetative soul that handles growth, the appetitive soul that drives desire, and the rational soul that seeks truth. In this system, biological growth, the structure of human leadership, and your quietest internal thoughts all follow the same underlying geometry. Because we reflect the structure of the universe so perfectly, humanity is not a cosmic accident stranded on a rock. We are a vital, architectural necessity for reality to understand itself. A couple of centuries after Khosrow, the great poet Jalal al-Din Rumi explored a similar idea in his masterwork, the Mathnawi. Rumi described invisible strings binding every single element in the universe into one breathing entity. Rumi used the metaphor of a polished mirror to describe humanity. He believed the universal intelligence uses our rational minds to look back at its own reflection. If we look west to classical antiquity, we find striking parallels. Plato's theory of forms argued that our physical world is merely a shadow cast by a perfect, invisible spiritual reality. A few hundred years later, the 3rd century philosopher Plotinus built a Neoplatonic ladder. His framework, moving gracefully from the one to the intellect and down to the world soul, maps directly onto Khosrow's Ismaili theology. This vision of a structured universe isn't limited to one tradition. It represents a recurring map for understanding the nature of reality. Modern philosophy severed this connection. It started with thinkers like Descartes, who drew a hard, permanent line between the thinking mind and the physical body. By the time we reach Friedrich Nietzsche and the later existentialists, that cosmic architecture is gone. We are told that we are now stranded in a completely silent universe where we must forge our own meaning. Thinkers like Martin Heidegger emphasized this heavy burden. The responsibility to create a reason to live from scratch was placed squarely on our shoulders alone. Khosrow's philosophy offers a powerful alternative. You don't need to invent meaning out of thin air, because meaning is already woven into the fabric of the cosmos. If you're finding value in these explorations of meaning, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below, and join our community. Subscribing and discussing these ideas is a localized way of actively participating in shared meaning, rejecting that modern void together. We see this exact instinct to find cosmic symmetry in East Asian traditions. Classical Taoism and Laozi outline a cosmological math. The 1 produces 2, the 2 produces 3, and the 3 produces all things. The Taoist forces of yin and yang beautifully match Khosrow's framework, the receptive universal soul pairing with the active universal intellect. This creates the traditional Chinese triad of heaven, earth, and humanity.
Just like in Khosrow's Persian texts, human consciousness acts as the ultimate mediator holding the cosmos together. Khwan Buddhism visualizes this through Indra's net, an infinite web of connected crystal jewels, where every node perfectly reflects the light of all the others. Across these distinct civilizations, from the Middle East to ancient Greece to East Asia, we see a consistent observation. The physical, spiritual, and divine are intricately mirrored. Today, we consume an endless stream of data, but lack the wisdom to process it. It leads to paralysis and a loss of unified meaning. Khosrow offers a systematic way to find clarity. To stop fighting yourself, you have to look beyond isolated facts, recognize the underlying patterns, and align your mind with the universe's order. You are a microcosm. Meaning is foundational to reality. True purpose requires connection. If the intellect is the pen and the soul the tablet, you are not an accident. You're a narrative the universe is waiting to read.